Today I'm making a simple roasted shallot vinaigrette. It is one of my all-time favorite dressings, and it's really only 3 ingredients to make the whole thing. I love making this dressing in advance, and it's absolutely not rocket science to make this at all. It's so easy. So let's get started. It starts with shallots, which I already showed you. Basically, what I did was I just took the skins off of them. And then there are some shallots you'll notice that have like almost 2 sections to them. And what I like to do is I just like to take the 2 sections and pull them apart. Just makes for a little bit more even roasting. If you have like a big guy like this, you might even want to like cut him in half. So I'm just gonna pull them apart. And then I'm just going to take some foil sheets, and we're just gonna make a little roasting cup for our shallots. So I'm just gonna cut 1 sheet. Almost fell out. 2 sheets. Dangerous foil. 3 sheets, and maybe even a 4th sheet. The reason why I like to use a bunch of foil sheets is just to make sure that all of our liquids that we're gonna put in this little container don't seep out and go everywhere, because the dressing is going to be in these foil sheets. So I'm going to take a water glass. I like to use kind of a wide brim water glass. Stick it right in the center of our foil sheets. And I'm just going to push up the sides of the foil around the water glass, just like this. And basically what you're gonna see is a cup forms right around your foil sheets. And don't forget to take your cup out, or else you're gonna have a roasted cup, and you don't want that. And you can see the inside, it looks like a nice kind of large cup. So the next step is to stick all of our shallots into this container. Stick them in just like that. And then we're just going to simply put some olive oil right into our cup. You don't need to submerge your shallots completely, but you use about like a 3/4 of a cup or so per 5 or 6 shallots. And then all you need to do is close up your container, seal it shut with your hands. I also like to kind of use a baking sheet as a safeguard, just in case our container leaks, even though it shouldn't, because we used 4 foil sheets. And we're going to stick this in the oven for about an hour at 400. See you in an hour. So our shallots have been in the oven for an hour. I let them sit on the counter out of the oven for about 20 to 30 minutes after roasting, just so the oil cools. But they're so beautiful. Look at that shallot oil. Oh man, that's gonna be our dressing. So I'm just going to take our bowl, and I'm just going to tip it, and you'll see all the olive oil comes out, and then I'm gonna take a fork, and I'm just going to scrape the shallots into the bowl. Just be careful it doesn't splash on you. Get all of them out. So perfect. And basically they just fall apart when I'm gonna take 2 forks now and just kind of pull them apart loosely, just so they're not in big chunks. Wow, look at this oil. And the final step for our dressing is we're just gonna take a little bit of sherry wine vinegar. If you don't have sherry wine, you could use red wine vinegar. And you're just going to put a little bit right into our shallot oil. And we're going to, again, just kind of like stir it around. You can use a whisk too, if you prefer to whisk it together. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of salt and pepper, just to taste. Salt, pepper, and that sherry wine vinegar is just going to cut the richness of the shallots and it adds just a little bit of sweetness. And sherry wine vinegar is usually aged, so it just has a richness that's just so fantastic. All right, our dressing is done. It's just the perfect amount of vinegar, and we're going to top this on some beautiful greens that I have right here. I have our beautiful dressing that's ready to go on some also very beautiful greens. So I'm just going to give this a last little stir, and then I'm just going to actually spoon a little bit of this over the top. Now, there's a lot of dressing here, so you probably are not going to use the whole thing all at once, which is totally fine, because what you can do is you can save this in an airtight container in the fridge for up to 5 days or so. Just make sure you take the container out of the fridge about 30 to 45 minutes before you want to dress the salad, because the oil will solidify in the fridge. So I'm just going to take my tongs and I'm just going to give this a nice little toss. These are just plain greens. You can use whatever greens that you like. I really like frisee, which is kind of like, looks like little, can you cut that out? I don't know how to describe it.
As you want.
You can use whatever greens you want. I'm just using a nice little butter lettuce, but whatever greens work, even arugula. So yum. Okay, it is time for me to give this beautiful little salad a try. I'm so excited. This dressing is everything. Oh man. All right, I get a little piece of shallot in there. This takes dressing to a whole nother level. It's so perfectly simple. It's not overdone. You get chunks of little sweet shallots. You can taste just a bit of sherry vinegar. It's not overwhelming. It's nice and oily. It's just so perfect. Talk about an amazing dressing for literally any salad. Check it out on Tastefully Grace. You will not regret it.